Hey, Steelers fans! Today, we have a lot to unpack regarding the latest chapter in Pittsburgh Steelers history. The hiring of Mike McCarthy has certainly stirred up discussion among fans, sparking a variety of opinions across the city from the moment he was introduced. It was clear that emotions were running high. There is something profoundly special about seeing someone return to their roots, and McCarthy's reaction was nothing short of heartfelt. Watching him speak, you could feel the weight of the moment, the pride, the nostalgia, and the immense responsibility that comes with leading a franchise with such a storied legacy. McCarthy's remarks reflected a deep connection to the city and to the Steelers organization. He spoke about the trust placed in him by Art Rooney, Homer Kahn, Dan Rooney, and the entire Steelers family. There was an unmistakable sense of honor in his words, an understanding that coaching this team is not just a job, but a stewardship. A chance to protect and build upon decades of history. His eyes reflected genuine emotion, in part because of the presence of his family in the audience, in part because of seeing former players and icons of the organization. That vulnerability made it clear that this was more than a career move, it was a homecoming. For those unfamiliar with the context, Pittsburgh is unlike any other city in professional sports. Every team wears the same colors, every fan has a deep-rooted connection, and the pride in the city is tangible. McCarthy's acknowledgement of this culture was important. He didn't shy away from highlighting what makes Pittsburgh unique: the loyalty, the resilience, and the unrelenting passion for the teams that represent it. There is a reason the Steelers have maintained such a devoted fan base over the decades. It is a reflection of the city itself, tough, committed, and endlessly proud. His words reminded everyone why this organization has such a special place in the hearts of so many. But let's be clear, while McCarthy's personal connection to Pittsburgh and his emotional introduction were inspiring, the process that led to his hiring has drawn criticism. Many fans have questioned how the Steelers arrived at this decision, and for good reason. The process involved a limited number of in-person interviews, and the perception that it was rushed left some wondering if more thorough due diligence could have been conducted. Even if the outcome is positive, the steps taken during the hiring process have been scrutinized and debated extensively. There's a balance to consider between honoring tradition and ensuring every choice is made with full consideration for the franchise's future. What was striking, however, was the general sentiment toward McCarthy himself. Despite the frustrations with the process, very few have criticized him as a coach or as a person. His reputation, built over years of experience and success, precedes him. Observers noted that the backlash often seems to blur into the process rather than reflect on McCarthy's abilities or character. He didn't orchestrate the interviews, he didn't determine how the process was handled, and it would be unfair to judge him based on decisions made by others. Fans may draw their own lines between dissatisfaction with management and confidence in the coach, and for many, these are distinct issues. From a coaching perspective, McCarthy has a reputation for leadership and stewardship. He understands that the role he has assumed is temporary in the sense that no coach stays forever, but it is permanent in the impact that can be made while leading. He referenced the passing of responsibilities from Bill Cowher to Mike Tomlin and now to him, emphasizing continuity and the idea of maintaining and growing a culture that has made the Steelers successful. Leadership, as he described it, is not about immediate accolades, but about building a foundation that the next steward can inherit and improve upon. The early impressions suggest McCarthy is eager to begin shaping his staff and implementing his vision. Fans are already speculating about what coordinators he will bring on board, how he will structure the team, and what offensive and defensive strategies he may prioritize. While he spoke about staying ahead of trends rather than following them, much of the work is still ahead. His press conference may have left some questions unanswered, especially regarding quarterback decisions or offensive preferences. But the foundation for progress is being laid. He is arriving with energy, a clear respect for the history of the franchise, and an understanding that the Steelers are as much a part of Pittsburgh as the city itself. An interesting element of McCarthy's introduction was the way his history with players like Aaron Rodgers and others became part of the narrative. Time and again, stories emerged of his dedication, attention to detail, and his tendency to form strong personal connections. These qualities, while not immediately measurable on the field, speak to the kind of culture he is likely to cultivate. A coach who understands relationships, who recognizes the importance of community and history, and who can balance tradition with innovation, is exactly what a team like the Steelers needs as they navigate the evolving landscape of professional football. Fans have been vocal, sharing opinions ranging from excitement to skepticism. Some expressed concern about nostalgia influencing the decision, while others highlighted McCarthy's potential to revitalize the team. It's clear that expectations are high, and rightfully so. Pittsburgh supporters are not content with mediocrity, they demand excellence. Both on and off the field, McCarthy has been introduced into an environment where every move is scrutinized, every decision carries weight. And every season is a chance to prove that the Steelers' legacy remains strong. The task ahead for McCarthy is substantial. Not only must he implement strategies and lead players effectively, but he also has to navigate the expectations of a city deeply invested in football, the team's. History provides a foundation. Yet it also serves as a benchmark that every new coach must strive to meet. Early signs suggest McCarthy recognizes both the challenges and the opportunities before him. He has shown respect for the institution, an awareness of the fan base, and a willingness to engage with the team in a meaningful way. These qualities alone provide hope for supporters eager to see progress and results on the field. While opinions about the process will continue to circulate, the broader conversation should focus on what McCarthy can achieve as a coach. His energy, humility, and understanding of Pittsburgh culture provide a promising starting point. The future will reveal whether this hiring leads to a resurgence for the Steelers. But the initial signs are encouraging. Fans may debate the methods, the interviews, and the decisions leading up to this moment. But the individual at the center of it all has begun his tenure with authenticity and clear intention. At the heart of this story is a city, a franchise, and a coach who all share a profound connection. Pittsburgh thrives on loyalty, hard work, and resilience, values that McCarthy embodies. The Steelers' past is rich with tradition, yet the focus now shifts to how the present and future will unfold under his guidance. Every fan will watch closely as he assembles his team, makes staffing choices, and begins to implement his philosophies. The journey has only just begun. And for a city that takes its football seriously, every play, every decision, and every game will be scrutinized with passion and intensity. McCarthy's first steps as head coach are both symbolic and practical. Symbolic in that they mark the return of a son to his city and the revival of enthusiasm among fans. And practical in the sense that tangible decisions must now be made to ensure success on the field. How he handles the roster, how he motivates players, and how he balances innovation with tradition will define the early stages of his tenure. Pittsburgh may be known for loyalty, but it is also a city that expects accountability, results, and excellence in every endeavor. As we reflect on McCarthy's introduction, it is clear that Pittsburgh's identity is deeply intertwined with the identity of the Steelers. Leadership, stewardship, and connection to the community are central to understanding why this hire matters. McCarthy's approach reflects an awareness of these principles. His focus is not solely on X's and O's, but on maintaining a culture of respect, hard work, and resilience that mirrors the values of the city. Every decision he makes will be measured against the backdrop of this legacy, and fans will be watching closely to see how he carries this mantle forward. The anticipation for the upcoming season is already palpable. Discussions about offensive schemes, quarterback development, and staff hires dominate conversations among supporters. Fans are energized by the possibilities. Yet mindful of the challenges ahead, Pittsburgh is a city that values both tradition and progress. And McCarthy appears committed to balancing both. While the press conference gave glimpses into his character, it is the actions in the weeks and months to come that will ultimately define his impact. Every practice, every game, and every interaction with the team will contribute to shaping a narrative that extends beyond words. In the end, this hiring marks the beginning of a new chapter, filled with both promise and scrutiny. Fans, analysts, and the team itself will closely examine every move, every decision, and every result. McCarthy has entered an environment where history looms large. Expectations are high and passion runs deep, yet he brings with him experience, dedication, and a clear understanding of what it means to lead the Steelers. For those invested in the team, there is excitement in watching how this story unfolds, and hope that the city's most beloved franchise continues to thrive under his guidance. As we dive deeper into the implications of Mike McCarthy's arrival, it becomes clear that the challenges ahead are as exciting as they are daunting. Pittsburgh fans are not ones to settle for anything less than excellence, and McCarthy now carries the dual responsibility of honoring the past while pushing the team into the future. Every move he makes will be analyzed, every comment dissected, and every decision will ripple across the fan base. from building a coaching staff to implementing new strategies. On both sides of the ball, the next few months will be critical in shaping how this era of Steelers football will be remembered. One of the first questions on everyone's mind is staffing. McCarthy has a philosophy that emphasizes not just skill but chemistry, and how his hires complement one another will be telling. Coordinators, position coaches, and support staff all play essential roles in translating a head coach's vision into tangible results on the field. The composition of this team behind the team can often make or break a season, and McCarthy has repeatedly expressed that he intends to bring in people who share his values, his approach, and his commitment to Pittsburgh's culture. The balance between innovation and tradition will be delicate, but it is essential for creating a sustainable winning formula offensively. Fans are eager to see how McCarthy will structure the attack. He has shown a willingness to embrace modern trends while respecting foundational principles, and it will be fascinating to watch how this translates to play calling, quarterback development, and overall scheme design. The idea of a mobile quarterback has been floated, and while McCarthy has acknowledged its value, he also understands the importance of fitting personnel to system, rather than forcing players into molds. Decisions regarding the roster, particularly at critical positions, will define the offensive identity for the seasons to come. McCarthy's challenge will be to balance his experience with a flexibility that allows for adaptation as games and seasons unfold. Defensively, the Steelers' legacy of toughness and discipline provides a strong starting point. Maintaining that identity while integrating modern approaches to defensive strategy will be one of McCarthy's tasks. The way he supports his defensive coordinators, instills accountability, and ensures alignment between offensive and defensive philosophy will shape the team's overall cohesion. Pittsburgh's identity has always been built on resilience, and McCarthy's role is to enhance it, creating a team that is not only skilled, but also mentally and emotionally prepared for the grind of a professional football season. The emotional connection McCarthy has demonstrated cannot be understated. His homecoming story resonated with the fans because it mirrors the relationship the city has with the Steelers. There is a sense of shared pride, a recognition that this is more than just a football team. It is an institution, a thread woven into the very fabric of Pittsburgh life. The way McCarthy honored the Rooney family, acknowledged former players, and expressed his commitment to the city set a tone of respect and responsibility for fans. This signals that the new era is starting on a foundation of authenticity and genuine connection. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Nobody noticed at first. In the middle of the usual chaos that surrounds the Steelers, a small, almost insignificant gesture slipped through the cracks. But inside the league it has started to sound like thunder. During the latest appearance of the team, cameras briefly caught a sequence that, to the untrained eye, meant nothing. To those who live off reading between the lines of football power, it looked like a quiet announcement of the future. The Steelers are famous for their discretion, for doing things the old way, and saying little in public. That is why the rumor has gained so much force. The gesture was not a speech, not a press leak, not even a quote. It was a look, a change in routine. A subtle shift in who was standing where and who was suddenly listening more than talking. Longtime observers swear that this is exactly how the franchise has acted in past transitions, signaling trust and authority without ever saying a word. Inside the building, the atmosphere is described as intense, almost frantic. Players are said to be confused but energized, sensing that something big is coming. Staff members reportedly adjusted their behavior, deferring decisions, exchanging glances, acting as if a line had already been crossed. No official announcement, no confirmation, just a feeling that the script has already been written. What fuels the speculation is the timing. The Steelers rarely make emotional moves, and when they do, it is usually after a long internal process. That is why this gesture, so small and yet so deliberate, has been interpreted as a sign that the organization has already chosen its next leader and is quietly preparing the ground in Pittsburgh. Tradition matters, symbolism matters, and silence often speaks louder than words. If the rumor is true, the madness around the team suddenly makes sense. The tension, the whispers, the strange calm mixed with urgency. Nobody noticed at first. But now the question is impossible to ignore. Did the Steelers just reveal their new head coach without saying a single word? That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.